Warren Buffett's success story. Warren Edward Buffett was born on August 30, 1930 in Omaha, USA, as the second of the three children by Howard and Leila Buffet. However, Howard was an investor and businessman who dabbled heavily in politics. While very little is known about Leila, apart from her supportive nature and her insistence on raising Buffett and his two sisters, Doris and Roberta, as Presbyterians. Both siblings never went into business as Buffett did. They instead chose the path of philanthropy. Buffett had a good mind for business and investment even as a child. When he was only 6 years old, he purchased 6 packs of Coca-Cola drinks to sell for a profit. During his time at Rose Hill Elementary School, he didn't flinch away from his academics, but also went out of his way to sell soda and bubble gums. It was during this time that Howard was elected into the United States Congress, which prompted the family to move from Nebraska to Washington, D.C. Here, Buffett attended Alice Deal Junior High School. At the age of 11 in 1941, he bought his first stock, including 6 shares of City Service, an oil service company, at $36 per share. At age 14, he filed his first tax return, making $500 by delivering newspapers. He went on to attend Woodrow Wilson High School, and as usual, thought of new ways that he could combine his academics with making more money. And then he had an idea. Buffett worked together with a friend and used $25 to buy a pinball machine, which they installed in a barbershop. To their delight, the investment yielded profits. Enough profit that they were able to buy and place other similar machines in several locations in the city. Eventually, in 1947, Buffett sold the pinball business for $1,000 right before he graduated from high school. During these early years, Buffett immersed himself in as many business-related books as he could get his young hands on. His favorite book, which inspired him to pursue a wide range of business ventures, was titled 1,000 Ways to Make $1,000. He continued to work tirelessly at different ventures, from selling lemonade to collecting the refund from recycling Coke bottles. He even gained a reputation for betting smart during horse races, where he created tip sheets at the local racetrack. As his love for statistics grew, and even his peers could not help but notice, and interestingly enough, the caption on his high school yearbook read, "Likes math, a future stockbroker." Boy, were they spot on. When he completed his high school, Buffett had already bought a portion of a 40-acre farm in Omaha, Nebraska. By this time, he had saved up about $5,000 from his various business ventures. He had now realized that he had a passion for business and wanted to be a full-time businessman. However, his father Howard wanted Buffett to get more education, so he convinced him to attend the Wharton Business School in the University of Pennsylvania. Buffett studied there for 2 years before transferring to the University of Nebraska, where he studied business administration and later graduated with a bachelor's degree. Young Buffett had become hungry for knowledge. He applied to Harvard Business School to continue his academic pursuit, but was rejected because he was deemed too young. Determined, the young boy applied to the Columbia Business School and was accepted. To further sweeten the cake, he even gained the opportunity to be lectured by his longtime mentor, Benjamin Graham, the man widely known as the father of value investing. By 1951, Buffett graduated from the university, but he wasn't done yet. His quest for knowledge was not yet complete, so he enrolled at the New York Institute of Finance. Now, Buffett was armed with all the knowledge he needed in finance and business, but what he still needed was an experience. So he temporarily suspended all his investments and applied to work at his father's company, Buffett Falk & Co. From 1951 to 1954, Buffett worked as an investment salesman, and despite his youth, he was a voice to be heard whenever he offered investment advice. His advice became so well known that it was published in a daily newspaper. In those early days of Buffett's career, he faced difficulty in public speaking. He was unable to communicate effectively because he was always terrified when giving a public speech. He admitted that he would become physically ill when the time came to take the podium. He later said, and I quote, "I was terrified of public speaking and I was young. I couldn't do it." He recognized that it will be necessary to have good communication skills to achieve his goals. So, in January 1952, He paid $100 for a course taught by Dale Carnegie, and later went on to tell Forbes that being able to communicate better gave him the confidence to propose to his wife and sell stocks in Omaha, despite being 22 years old and looking even younger. All through his youth, Buffett was not known to have dated anyone. That is, until his younger sister, Roberta, introduced him to a young lady by the name of Susan Thompson in 1952. The awkward couple dated for a few months until they eventually got married in Omaha and were blessed with 3 children, Susan, Howard, and Peter. 25 years later, in 1977, Buffett was heartbroken when his wife Susan left him to pursue a singing career in San Francisco, but he still supported her decision. They remained a loving couple until her death in 2004. Buffett partnered with his mentor, Benjamin Graham, and he learned from him till Benjamin's retirement in 1956, by which time Buffett had amassed a large amount of money and was able to start up his own partnership company, which he named Buffett Partnership Limited. In 1959, Buffett met Charlie Munger, and it became the beginning of another partnership that will span decades and result in the creation of billions in corporate and personal wealth. Since their fateful meeting, they built Berkshire Hathaway into one of the world's most successful companies. When asked the secret to their success, they said, "It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction." As time went on, in 1966, when he was 32, Buffett was already a popular investor in Omaha and became more noticeable when he first began to buy stock in Berkshire Hathaway, earning him the nickname Oracle of Omaha. By 1965, he had already bought enough shares to take control of the company itself. And he didn't stop there. He merged his other business ventures into one under Berkshire Hathaway and gradually diversified. Despite his successes, Buffett was still relatively unknown. That is, until 1986, when he made his first $1 billion and shocked the world by investing a 12% stake in a company riddled by negative scandals, Salomon Incorporated. By doing so, Berkshire Hathaway became the largest shareholder in Salomon Inc., making Buffett the chairman and director of the new company. 2 years later, and ironically, Buffett started purchasing stocks in the Coca-Cola Company until he was the proud owner of over 7% of the company. By this time, Buffett had now come a long way from the little boy that used to recycle Coca-Cola bottles to the most lucrative deal of his entire business career. And that was how he became one of the most successful investors and third richest man in the world, leading the trail with a net worth of $84.4 billion. He is an independent thinker who plans years into the future and follows a strict path to achieve any goals he set for himself. A true inspiration to every young entrepreneur aspiring to be successful in life. Thank you very much for watching our videos. We'd like to give you another interesting video for you to enjoy next. But before then, our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Look at your screen now to see 2 other interesting videos we handpicked for you to enjoy next. We love you.